Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where I will be talking about the new movie, Luca. Okay, so I pretty much had no idea that Luca was gonna be a thing. I usually try to keep up with Disney's new movies, but I had no idea that this one even existed at all. So there was like barely any advertising for this movie, so if Disney's not gonna talk about it, I guess I will. Doing the dirty work for the corporations, are we? So yeah, put your seatbelts on and let's get right into the video. Also, this is gonna be a review, so there might be spoilers if you haven't seen the movie before, just a warning. If you don't know what Luca is, let me just recap it for you real quick. It's a new Disney Pixar film that follows the adventures of Luca, a 13-year-old sea creature who wants so desperately to explore the surface despite the dangers that he's bound to encounter. At first I was like, okay, this just seems like a Little Mermaid ripoff, and while it does follow a similar premise, Luca is a well-rounded film that can definitely hold its own. I won't lie, I knew exactly where the story would end up within the first 10 minutes of the movie, but it was still entertaining to see how we got there. This familiarity means we can watch the movie in relative comfort since we already have a basic understanding of the story. We no longer have to focus on a complex storyline, so our attention naturally goes to other places like the emotions of the characters or the themes of the story in general. And sometimes it's just nice to watch a movie that doesn't age you 50 years because of stress. I thought Luca's writing was very clever with impeccable comedic timing, and it pretty much kept me engaged the entire film. The problem is really simple, but it's also incredibly smart. A sea creature living in a town that hates sea creatures. In terms of writing, it's really simple, but it works really well to heighten the stakes of the story. Though most of the events were really well placed, I feel like there were some pacing issues. For example, we didn't really get to see much of Luca's life underwater. He went above water pretty early on in the movie and then ultimately spent the rest of his time there. Another thing that felt off to me was towards the end when Alberto randomly showed up when Luca was racing. The last time that we saw him, there were no signs of forgiveness, which meant that his growth happened off screen. Other than that, I thought that pretty much everything else had enough time to naturally build. One of the things that surprised me were the many hints that this was a queer story, and I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. I know I'm not the only one who saw it. In order to make other people feel more comfortable, Luca and Alberto hid who they truly were, which can easily lend itself to an allegory about gayness. You could literally flip a few words throughout the story and it would be a story about being gay. The film's director did say that this was about platonic friendship and was never meant to be an allegory for queerness. However, Luca has strong themes of acceptance, kindness, following your own path, and overcoming fear, which is absolutely relevant in queer people's lives. So whether or not the creators intended for this to be a queer story, I know a lot of queer people will be able to relate to it. Personally, it just seems like Disney didn't want to make this a gay story, so the writers put as many hints as they could without making it too obvious. There were just way too many small moments that would support this, you know? Like Alberto holding on to Luca for a little longer than expected, and also these frickin' old ladies at the end who were hiding among them were definitely lesbians, and I support them. Even at the end, there were people who still did not accept them in their true form. However, there were also people like Julia's dad. He at one point hated sea monsters, but his perspective changed once he had grown to know and love Alberto and Luca. This movie shows the cruelty of humans not only towards Luca and Alberto, but towards other humans as well. The real monsters are the people who lack the capability of kindness and understanding. Regardless of whether or not Luca was meant to be a gay allegory, it is one. So stop being a coward, Disney, and just give us what we want. Also, sorry if it's like getting dark. The sun is going down. The sun is getting real low. One of the first things that I noticed about the movie was the animation style. First of all, I was immediately infatuated by the 1960s Italian aesthetic that's reminiscent of Pinocchio and Call Me By Your Name and other old Italian films. Old set time period, not like obviously Call Me By Your Name came out like what? Couple years ago, whatever. Anyways, I thought this aesthetic was really beautiful and worked well for the story that they were trying to create. Of course, a Pixar movie is bound to have beautiful animation, but some of these scenes were absolutely incredible. There was really interesting use of color, texture, shape, and every movement moved fluidly into the next. This style isn't too different from what we've seen from Pixar before, but there were subtle alterations that stood out to me, like their blushy cheeks and facial textures, blocky fingers and toes, the bold shapes and simplicity of the designs, which creates a visually pleasing style. Okay, I got my light out because it's about to storm outside, so hopefully I can finish this video in time. If not, you might be hearing some rain in the background. It's just a little ambiance, you know? And we are back. The storm has passed. We're gonna try this again. So anyways, blushy cheeks, facial textures, yada yada, visually pleasing style. As an artist myself, there were many scenes in Luca that were really inspiring to me. That daydream sequence that Luca had actually reminded me a lot of the leap of faith from Into the Spider-Verse, which was one of the most stunning scenes in Marvel animation. Pixar also successfully uses design as a way to show off each character's personality before they even have to talk. Luca, for example, is small and cute with big eyes and slouching shoulders, which shows his innocence, apprehension, and curiosity about the world around him. Alberto has tall hair, a puffed out chest, and hooded eyes to show us that he's much more stress-free, confident, and willing to go with the flow. Julia has bright hair, relaxed posture, and a big smile, which lets us know that she's bubbly, extroverted, and comfortable in her own skin. I also really like that they show Julia having sweat stains at one point. That's just really not in a lot of animation like that. I don't know. I thought that was kind of an interesting touch. Aside from the main trio, pretty much all the other character designs are pretty interesting too, like Julia's dad, Luca's parents, even Ercole was perfectly annoying to look at. However, one of my favorite designs of all was Luca in his sea creature form. All of his cuteness comes across even as a non-human being. I also really love that they're not just typical mermaids that we're used to seeing, they're different creatures. I don't want to call them monsters because that feels so demeaning, but if I were to see one of them in real life, I would probably be afraid, you know? These are all characters that people will easily be able to relate to. Luca is someone who wants to experience the world but is held back by fear, whether that's innate or instilled in him by his family. Despite this fear, he continues to learn more about the world, growing more curious as opposed to jaded by his findings, even when things don't turn out the way he thought it was. He's the sweetest little fellow, and his innocence is never disturbed throughout the movie. Though he is generally kind, he's still flawed and makes mistakes. To juxtapose Luca, we have Alberto, who's the complete opposite of him. Alberto is a free spirit with a bit of a dark side. Unlike Luca, who has a really good family unit, and Julia, who has a loving father, Alberto was abandoned. Luca is completely honest in his ignorance, whereas Alberto tries to hide the fact that he's hurt with false confidence. He's still wounded by his father leaving, so he tries to cover it up with his carefree demeanor. He pretends to know things that he doesn't, and it's not until the very end of the movie that he finally admits that he doesn't know all the things he says he does. Because of this dissonance between their personalities, Luca and Alberto have a very fluid relationship. Then we have Julia, who takes them under her wing for better or for worse. She's this loner, outcast girl who's outspoken and friendly with the townspeople. She teaches Luca and Alberto about the world, and to them, she's the epitome of the surface. She's confident in a different way than Alberto. Julia is truly comfortable with herself, whereas Alberto is hiding his insecurities, which leads him to lash out. He doesn't want Luca to leave him like his father did, which is something that he has to come to terms with. Though it's not Julia's fault, this dynamic creates a rift between Alberto and Luca. The smoothness of their relationship is disturbed. All three of them are well-rounded characters which people can learn from and empathize with. We're able to insert ourselves into their story and ultimately become a part of it, and I feel like this is what a lot of good films do. Overall, I thought Luca was a very beautiful and enjoyable film that I wish was getting more recognition. Between the beautiful animation, well thought out characters, and the emotional story, this movie is definitely worth watching. For those of you watching, I'm curious if you've already seen the movie, what are your thoughts? If you haven't seen the movie, do you plan on watching it now? If you do, please tell me and talk to me about it when you're done. Anyways, that's about all I have to say for this video. If you made it this far, comment the fish emoji, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where I will be talking and reviewing. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Hello everyone, welcome to Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Oh my gosh, I'm literally gonna freaking pass out and die. So yeah, put your seatbelt.